Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends, it is now the time to bring an end to the first ASEM Forum on Human Rights of Older Persons, Present and Future, under the topic of protection of the human rights of older persons in emergency situations. First of all, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all the participants, presenters, discussants, moderators, and guests both online and offline. I do appreciate for your tremendous contributions to make this forum a great success. I also would like to thank the AGAC, ASEM Global Aging Center, for your inspiring efforts to make this important forum not only possible, but also so wonderful. My appreciation is also to be extended to our co-organizer, the National Human Rights Commission of Korea, as well as our great friend, the EU Embassy to Korea. I think it is very meaningful and very opportune that we are holding this forum only in some 8 months after the 20th Informal ASEM Seminar on Human Rights under the topic of human rights of older persons, which was held in last February, right at this same convention hall. I think it marked the very first and very timely endeavor, taking the topic of human rights of older persons in highly reputable history of informal ASEM Human Rights Seminar. It was the first and invaluable opportunity to connect hundreds of world-leading experts on aging for the community of ASEM partners. And there, we have fully concurred that the needs are urgent more than ever for domestic, regional, and international actions to promote and protect human rights of older persons to improve their living conditions. As we all know, the COVID-19 is not an equal virus. Its impact is wide and universal, but it's utterly unequal. It has and will have the greatest impact on those already experiencing poverty, poor health, exclusion, and discrimination, revealing and exacerbating the existing inequities which had been much widened and deepened during last 40 years of globalizing neoliberal economic world order. As has been emphasized and evidenced again and again throughout this forum, older persons are the group affected largest in number and hit hardest in severity, but considered the least and the last. It is nothing but a consequence and the reflection of their weak social, economic, and legal positions in their societies. During last 2 days, we have held 4 sessions to deal with the themes of health crisis, humanitarian crisis, climate change and natural disasters, and ageism. In these sessions, we have learned how the rights of older persons have either been neglected or only inadequately addressed in the currently existing prevention, management, and response mechanisms in these different emergency situations. Participants of the forum had a valuable time to diagnose the status quo and explore the various ways to move forward in various environments. One of the notable aspects of the forum was that it was joined by 2 members of the World Health Organization. Dr. Mike Ryan, the Executive Director of Health Emergency Program, delivered a wonderful keynote speech to us, and Dr. Venier de la Nunes presented on the key findings of WHO's global report on ageism, showing how important the implications of ageism for the health and human rights of older persons. And also, it made us more aware of how ageism manifests itself in emergency situations, and how emergency situations in turn augment and exaggerate the existing forms of ageism. And I'm happy to announce that this important report of the WHO has been translated into Korean in full by the ASEM Global Aging Center recently. And it has been, this translated version, the Korean version, has been uploaded on the WHO's homepage. Applause. And in addition, what made the forum particularly special is that it hosted a special session named Civil Society Talk Concert, where 6 representatives of influential international civil society groups working on the rights of older persons formed an excellent panel and shared their experiences and views gained from their long engagement in the issue on the ground. And most of all, the significance of the Civil Society Talk Concert lies in the fact that it has alerted us to the voices of older persons that have often been neglected in drafting policies that are designed to serve the interests of older persons, particularly in the context of emergencies. Last but not least, in parallel to the forum, an online exhibition of global campaigns for the human rights of older persons was also organized. The exhibition displayed the works of campaigners from international organizations, civil society groups, governments, and the private sectors, as well as individuals from around the world. The campaigners in the exhibition addressed various issues relating to the human rights of older persons, from ageism, the UN Convention on the Rights of Older Persons, women in old age, workplace age discrimination, and the well-being of older persons, to changes in the narrative around age and aging. I believe this exhibition effectively disseminates to a larger number of global audiences the key messages of grassroots movement to protect and promote the rights of older persons. Through in-depth discussions of the 4 sub-themes of the overarching theme of human rights of older persons in emergency situations, the Civil Society Talk Concert, and the online exhibition of global campaigners for the human rights of older persons, this forum has again confirmed the human rights. This forum again confirmed the validity of a human rights-based approach to protect older persons from any forms of discrimination and abuse. The human rights-based approach sheds light on the fact that the extended longevity of people today is something to be celebrated as one of the great achievements of mankind, rather than to be worried about as a burden on society. The human rights-based approach understands older persons are the agents of their lives and choices, and their access to health service, decent living, and social protection as part and parcel of their enjoyment of human rights, rather than seeing them as passive recipients of benefits and welfare. This principle should be adhered to not only in normal times, but in every situation and context, including in emergency situations. The human rights-based approach, therefore, demands a radical change in our mode of thinking and doing with aging. After all, the COVID-19 pandemic is a very loud wake-up call to the gaps and violations of human rights of older persons who are equally entitled to the enjoyment of their civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights as listed in the major international human rights treaties. As the Executive Director Ji Eun-hee mentioned in her welcoming address yesterday, now is indeed the time for a radical transition of the points of views, modes of thinking and doing about aging and human rights of older persons. And also, as Help Age International exclaims, if not now, then when? I am very pleased that the first ASEM Forum on the Human Rights of Older Persons, Present and Future, has made an important contribution to this end. Having seen a growing interest and concern about the rights of older persons, particularly after the COVID-19 pandemic, I am very hopeful to see that an increasing number of the academics, researchers, national policymakers, and civil society groups recognize the importance of a human rights-based approach to aging and actively disseminate this idea. In this context, I'm also confident that the role of the ASEM Global Aging Center will become even more important in the ways to come in helping to promote this agenda by bringing various actors from ASEM partner countries together to this common goal. Once again, I thank very much the organizers of this wonderful event and all participants for their candid, enthusiastic, and deeply engaged discussions. I truly hope and believe that the forum will add to the global endeavor to make global society more equitable and freer from discrimination for all. Thank you very much for your attention.